In this video, I'm going to show you how to ask qualifying questions to generate higher intent leads from your Facebook lead generation campaigns. So first up, I need to teach you about this concept of elicitation. This is not my information. Elicitation is the process of drawing out information from people, often subtly, by using structured communication techniques that encourage disclosure without making the person feel interrogated. So what does that look like? I first heard about this from a guy named Chase Hughes. You can look him up on YouTube here. This is a very good video, goes for 6 minutes. And he gives real life examples of how he used elicitation in the CIA to ask questions indirectly to get the answers that he was looking for, or the truth. We can use this in advertising. So instead of asking the generic, what is your budget? You can ask this using several different elicitation frames. The first one might be an assumptive frame, which is most business owners start testing around 1 to 2K per month. Would that be you or higher? And then you give multiple choice answers. And 1, 2, maybe even 3 of these answers would immediately disqualify an inquiry from being able to inquire with you. You could also use a comfort frame. Everyone has a comfort zone when testing ads. Which feels most like yours? Tight and careful, test and learn, confident. By the way, there is 10 total frames on this Google document. If you want access, you can comment the word frame and I'll DM it to you. You've also got an identity frame. So which best describes your approach to advertising? Cautious tester, confident investor, growth minded. By the way, you can stack these different frames and ask these questions one after the other to heavily qualify potential leads. And this is what it starts to look like in a Facebook lead form. Now, you don't have the right to ask these questions if you haven't built goodwill when people see you for the first time, the first impression of your ad. The easiest way to build goodwill, to have the right to ask these sensitive financial questions, is to educate in your Facebook ads. This is why I'm so big on using ad types like a sketchbook, Skillshare ad types, static plus video ad types, iPhone note ad types, and so on. And when people are coming from ads like this that are trust first, value driven, they're so much more open to answering questions like these. So my first question is asking for permission. I'm going to ask some pretty heavy questions. I need to figure out whether I can help you. You cool with this? If they say yes, they can go to the next question. If they say no, they're disqualified and they go to the end page for disqualified leads. I'll talk about those in a second. By the way, we're using a setting in Facebook lead forms called conditional logic so that we can disqualify people who do not meet our minimum criteria. My next question is, how much can you afford to spend comfortably on advertising per month, assuming you're profitable, of course. So we're asking a sensitive question, but also future pacing. If you do have this budget, there's a positive outcome here. So anyone who answers under 7K a month, disqualified. 7 to 10K, 10 to 15K, 15K plus, they're qualified. They go through to the next question. Now, how this works is if people answer in a way that disqualifies them as a potential lead, in this conditional logic dropdown, you just go to close form. That means they can't submit it. They don't become a lead. And then bonus, your ad account only optimizes for people who select the right answer, who are qualified. This is how you're able to target people who are more qualified for your business without you having to dick around with targeting. And then obviously if they meet that criteria, you click go to the next question. And then I've got a total of 9 discovery questions that I need to know to get an understanding before someone books a call with me. Now on this last question, if people click yes, this is when they're qualified. And this is when you would select this option, submit form. Then the next page they'll see is when we're asking for contact information. The way that I prefer to ask for contact information is very transparent. I want to tell them what's going to happen next.